Let this sink in. The world does not value you. We find ourselves needing to validate our existence whilst conforming to life's complex structures. And I believe that, and our belief that money is king, has been the downfall of humanity. My soul was crushed this week, literally pulverized. I cannot fathom the extent of humanity's capacity for evil. It's pure satanisme, the rubbish that we allow to be perpetrated on the daily, and we do sweet necks about it. Thank you for watching It's a Wrap, the show which exposes humanity's rot in the hope of inspiring the good to prevail, one human being at a time. It should come as no surprise that the sexual exploitation of women and girls has existed since the dawn of time, and yet we as a society have condoned this and allow it to persist. We express shock when schoolgirls are impregnated by grown men and when babies are raped, but somehow move on and keep on keeping on. My soul was shattered recently when this note landed on my desk. It read, "My name is Joan. I'm a Kenyan citizen. I was trafficked to Namibia by a sex slave syndicate that has very big people involved. I escaped and ran to the police, but instead of helping me, they locked me up in Kleinvinter police station. I've been here for 27 days now. No charges have been brought against me, and I've been denied access to a phone call or access to a lawyer. All I want is help to go home." I reached out to everyone who's supposed to be able to do something about this situation. I sent this note on to the Attorney General's office, to the Office of the Ombudsman, and to the Legal Assistance Center in that hope that something would be done to help this girl. Listen to her story.
In my country, it's not easy to get a job unless you have people connections. So I decided to just try my luck with online applications. You see these suggested pages on Facebook. That's how I stumbled upon Technomed. The application was under Technomed, but once you open the link, the page was biotech. I'm applying for a finance intern job. I applied, went through the personal attributes, the academic qualifications, the referees. There was no place where I was told to give my work experience. And then at the end of it, we were supposed to upload a CV and a photograph of myself. I didn't upload the photograph because my CV at the side had already had my photograph. And I just forgot about that application because I kept applying many other things. I think it's a week. Yeah, it's a week later. I don't know if I don't really remember the date they had replied, but a week later when I was going through my junk emails, I saw their reply. They told me they were congratulating me for being shortlisted for the job, and there was a number there that I was supposed to call. And they will direct me on what to do next. So I called the number, the guy hung up, he called me. And then I remember asking him when I'm coming for the interview because I thought maybe they have like a branch in Kenya where I should go for the interview before I'm posted to the main office or something like that. So he told me that's the interview, that phone call conversation was the interview. Later he told me he'll link up with their Kenyan agent who will organize my travel arrangements because I have to come by road. Apparently there are no flights from Kenya to Namibia. I believed them because I even thought Namibia was a province of South Africa, so I just believed them. True, a guy, the Kenyan agent called me days later and told me how he had got my number. I told him, I gave him my information, then he gave me directions to his office in Nairobi at Imenti House, second floor. I still remember that office. I went there. We talked. He told me Namibia was a beautiful country. It's a rich country. It has diamonds. Yeah, but he told me it's not a province in South Africa. It's actually a country on its own. Yeah, not a big population, but there are good jobs there because the population is little and the economy is huge. So I was actually lucky to be going to work there, being that it's my first job. According to him, I had a very bright future ahead.
Joan soon realized that she had in fact become a victim of human trafficking for sexual exploitation.
And then later they brought the men, and the men would pick girls I was a girl who resisted. She was big. She didn't even like resist by words. She was just touched and she pulled away. I beat her so badly. I don't even think that girl survived. I'm not sure she ever lived through that beating because she passed out. She was even bleeding through the ears. Really bad. After seeing that, how would you say no to anything these people want? So I was chosen that night and yeah, stuff happened. In the morning when the guy left, I was in so much pain I could not even feel my legs. So I didn't even have the courtesy of taking me to the bathroom. He just left me there. I really could not walk. Like I could not feel my legs. So I pulled myself towards, because the bathroom had a bathtub. I decided, let me just go soak myself inside there. Maybe I'll feel better. It's when I was pulling myself to the bathroom that the door opened and this guy who later now became my handler found me lying there. So he just picked me up and went and dumped me in the bathtub. He just opened the water and left. My hand still. They told me I owe them money, and if I want to go home, I have to pay the money. Money for what? For bringing you here. So if you ever want to go home, you have to raise a certain amount. The first time they gave me 100,000. Then anytime I would really do everything to raise that amount. And just when you're almost to that mark, they would again increase it. After 2 months, I realized these people are never really going to let me go home. And the more I'm being obedient, the more I am of value to them, and the more they can never get rid of me. They can never take me home. So, because I was bringing clients. Yeah. So there were specific clients who, I don't know, prepaid or postpaid. I never saw the money exchanging hands, but they would book hotels and take us to those clients. Whole weekends, sometimes some hours, depends. Then the other days they would take us to bars with white people. They were mostly white people. They were white people. Bars with white people, places where tourists go.
In this, our Namibia, some very high-ranking officials are involved in the abuse of women, and no one seems prepared to do anything about it. Here's the Attorney General's response to this matter. On the strength of her evidence, the Directorate Criminal Investigation of the Namibian Police launched an investigation and raided a house where Ms. Nhlenge alleged more victims were being held. This raid delivered no evidence of trafficking. Now this begs the question, which house, if the victim and the LAC, who at least did something to try and help this woman, don't know where the house is? That Attorney General, ne?